Vatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video of Infamous, coming at you live yet again from San Jose, California. Another beautiful day out here in Cali. Anyways, just wanted to talk about a few comments left in my last video, or one of my videos, about you know, the bike I'm riding on right now, the Sportster, the Roadster 2016, the build. I'm talking about, you know, just everything. I changed everything on the bike, and some of the comments, I think they're almost across the same on Instagram and on YouTube. People are saying, man, why why do you go back to a Sportster, or why did you go back to a smaller bike? And I think I made that video already. The reasons why you go Sportster: they're a little bit more agile, it's got more of that shake, it's got more of that Harley feel to it, it's got that sound, of course. And I think it's just a smaller bike, and it's got that torque. I like it. It's got that feel of a Harley. And here, let me just see if I can put this in neutral real quick, and you can see right there. I mean, there's a lot of shake in this thing, especially when it's starting up. This whole thing just kind of, you know, it looks like it's gonna fall off. So it's got that shake to it, it's got good sound, and man, it's light compared to my Lowrider S. It's lighter, it's a little bit more agile. I like the overall look. Inverted forks, dual disc brakes. There's a lot, you know, I mean, there's a lot to like here. There's a lot to like. That's why I went with the Roadster over an Iron 1200 or a custom, or yeah, I mean, one of the XL models. That's the reason why I went with this one. I just like the bike, and you know, as far as it being a waste of money, I think anything that you do to a bike like this, even if it is on a Dyna or a FXR or just anything, it is a waste of money. Anything, because you're not adding any value to the bike. There's aftermarket parts, just like with my Lowrider S. You know, that build cost me a little bit over $6,000, maybe $7,000. And at the end of the day, once I put that thing on the market, it's only going to be valued at, what, $16,000? Maybe, if I'm lucky, depending on the used market and inflation and all that other stuff. Yes, the $7,000 adds zero value to that bike. It is what it is. But, you know, I'm not planning on selling it. I'm not planning on getting rid of it. So, like I said, anything that you do to your bike doesn't add any value to it. If not, it actually devalues the bike, because it's no longer in its stock form. It's not the same way as it was designed from the manufacturer, from Harley. It is what it is. So, I don't know. I mean, another comment about how I was supposed to move on from these bikes, from Roadsters or Sportsters. How most riders are supposed to move on, but you know, I think there's a lot of people that kind of, like myself, miss that feel of an Evo engine. That we miss that feel and sound of a Sportster. A lot of people kind of in the comments, in the Facebook group, everybody kind of mentions the same thing. Man, I miss my Sportster, because a lot of people do trade in their Sportsters for a bigger or a big V twin. And it just happens. And I found myself wanting to get back into it. And I mean, these bikes are affordable. They're a lot cheaper than a Dyna. Typically out here in California, a Dyna, you're looking at, you know, north of $10,000. And I just didn't want to spend that. I wanted to just work on something. I wanted to have like a hobby, and I wanted something that I was gonna like. And I mean, that's the reason why I did what I did with this build. As you guys can see, it's a whole club style budget build that I did from Amazon. And like I said, I also wanted to take a look at what Amazon had to offer, these China knockoff parts, components. I wanted to see, I mean, I just wanted to compare and contrast my Lowrider S build up against this build, and see, you know, just to kind of offer my own experience and my own 2 cents on, you know, a lot of people say I wouldn't put Chinese made parts on my bike, or I wouldn't compromise my bike build by saving a couple bucks. But I mean, it was a lot of money, guys. There was a lot of money that I saved from you know, just buying directly from China. And like I mentioned in another video, you know, even buying from Harley-Davidson, which I used to do a lot of those parts were made in China. So I just, and then some of the aftermarket parts as well. I already mentioned this in another video. I just found myself unboxing these items and just kind of being surprised and a little bit disappointed that a lot of these parts that I'm paying top dollar for are made in China. So I mean, that's what it came down to, and I just kind of figured, you know what, what's the point of even paying, you know, top dollar, paying that surcharge, or paying that premium price, if a lot of these parts they're just made in China, and they just package them and ship them as American made. Man, I don't know how. Oh wow, I don't know, man. This bike is fun. This bike is fun. I like being able to tear into it, abuse it. I've been abusing this bike a lot ever since I finished building it. And it's just one of those things. I'm still making payments on the Lowrider S. I don't want to abuse that bike. I want to baby it. I want to take care of it. This bike, however, because it didn't cost me that much, and the build itself, not considering the stage 1, I think it was under $1,000. Once I calculate, of course, the tune, the intake, and the exhaust, I believe that was somewhere around $2,000. So overall, the build itself, I believe it was under $3,000. So $3,000, give or take. So about half the cost of the Lowrider S. But man, I'm just having a blast on this thing. I've been riding this quite a bit, and the reason why I'm doing that is just so I could get a good feel, and so I could put a lot of the components to the test and see how she handles, because I am gonna, like I said, I want to compare it. And I guess, you know, that, and you know, keeping that in mind, it might be, I guess, a little bit of just content that I wanted to offer on the channel. Sportsters are typically the most popular bikes for new riders. A lot of people start off with a Sportster. There's a lot of these bikes, and I mentioned I just joined a Facebook group. And there's a lot of people in there that have no idea what they're doing with these bikes. You know, some of the basic just knowledge, I guess, parts or services that people just, yeah, I mean, they just have no idea of what they're doing. So I just kind of figured, you know what, instead of answering questions, because I've been a little bit more active in that group than I am on the Lowrider S group. I just feel like, you know, I have some knowledge to offer here. So I'm just making these videos and just give people an option here and there. And like I said, it wasn't going to break the bank, and I didn't mind it. So, and on top of that, of course, the inflation and just money sitting in the bank, losing 8 to 18% of value. If you guys have been watching the market, the aftermarket for Harley, they've been raising the rates. Dynojet just recently raised the rates on their tuner from under $500 up to $700. That's a big jump. So just, you know, overall, is it a waste of money? Yes, but just like everything else, I believe $1 Million Bogan, he actually just dropped what, like over $20,000 on his Road Glide CVO. Over $20,000. We're talking about angel work, suspension, a lot of money. And that, you know, that bike ain't cheap. That's a CVO. I don't know how much he spent on it. I can't remember based off the video, but I know he spent a pretty penny, maybe around $20,000 to $30,000. But he has to hook up with the dealership, so he probably got a good deal on it. I don't know, but overall, that CVO at the end cost him north of $50,000. And you guys saw his video. He mentioned, look, I don't have anything else for me to spend my money on. I don't do anything else. I don't, you know, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't I don't do any of that stuff. And this is my only vice. This is my only outlet. So, you know, that's pretty much where I'm at. And yeah, I just wanted a little project for me to kind of wrench on and just, you know, do something and probably make some videos. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know, you guys leave your comments down below. What do you guys think? Should I just have worked on a Dyna instead, left the Sportster? But like I said, a lot of people have these bikes. These bikes have been out since the 50s, so there's plenty of these bikes. So potentially, if someone's, I mean, like I said, these are a little bit more affordable. I've been watching them on the used market. You can pick one up for maybe about $3,000 to $4,000. And on a lot of the stuff that I built, that I made videos on with this build, you could do it across all those models. So we're talking about 50 to 60 years of builds, potential builds that people might be looking into making. And using the Amazon platform, you know, people just don't have that type of money to be spending $7,000, $8,000 on, like on my Lowrider S. Yeah, dropping $7,000 to $8,000 on a finance bike where you're still making payments. So it just adds up. At the end of the day, it gets expensive. And being able to get into something like this where you might have that, you might have a stage 1 Sportster already, as in, like, if you were to pick one up used, typically they have pipes and stuff like that. Who knows, maybe you're lucky and you only have maybe $1,000 worth of budget, and you could do all of this that I did right here. So you know, it's just, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for watching yet another video. You guys just stay out there, stay safe, don't believe everything you read, life's a risk, get out there and ride. Later.